Hey guys, welcome to the Second Bedroom Show. Today I have Stephanie of Grow Gang, the founder of Grow Gang. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
So we started these markets, and it was really awesome. And we were doing like photo shoots and like having, women photographers and like just like having groups of girls just like do really fun things, just like a really cool picture of some stuff. We would just do like really cute stuff.
Who hosted that?
Me and at Paper Route actually.
Nice.
So they were at the beginning, of all of that. That was actually where our first Girl Gang was. So our first Girl Gang market was at Paper Route.
Okay.
And it was really fun. And
So what do the markets look like?
so it would be all female entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And it would be set up to where you could come and shop. Usually we would have like a food vendor. A lot of the like STA nutrition was involved with it. So they were doing lit teas and stuff at the events.
Okay.
We had a few at Push Push, so that way like we were doing like hair and stuff intertwined. And then we also did a Women's Health Day at Push Push that was held by Sailor Jane, Rachel Miller. And I was doing free brow waxes. I have a spa called Highbrow Spa.
That's right.
So I was offering free brow waxes, and Girl Gang was a figure there. Yeah, so it was a fun time. Trying to like navigate my timeline. I'm all over the place.
That's okay.
But yeah, we started out as markets.
Okay.
And we were like, wow, something's happening here. Like,
Yeah.
we're building a community. And then COVID happened, and we couldn't be.
Yeah.
And then when that ended, we did a few markets, and we were masked and stuff like that. And then we got back to normal. And then recently, actually, we shifted from markets, mostly because it is hard to find a home base that's consistent.
Yes. Yeah.
And parking and everything. So we were enjoying doing events. So we're doing the Bling and Ink event, which is with Lindsay Scott, who is really awesome. She's a professional bedazzler. Like LaCroix would be like, here, take these cans, bedazzle them. And she's like, look, it's beautiful. Like, she's so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so she'll be a part of it.
Cool.
So we're doing that at Pegasus Tattoo.
Okay.
April 27th. And all the tickets for that go towards the Period Locker.
Okay.
The Period Locker is something that we created from seeing a need for it. Personally, during COVID, I couldn't afford freaking anything.
Yeah.
My work I was in the salon industry, so it took forever for us to all go back.
Wow.
And when we were on the Girl Gang, we were like, how do we fill this void while we're not marketing? So we were like being like, do you need canned goods? We'll meet you up and we'll meet you with the goods. We'll meet you in a parking lot. And we were giving people groceries, and the number one requested item was sanitary products, menstrual products. I don't like the word sanitary. Menstrual products. So that was like, there's clearly something here more. And then it was consistent after too, and I remember the stigma around talking about it. And then I have a friend, Allie, who was like, that is something I really like to get going. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, so then we started Period Lockers, and we were doing bags at first and just dropping them off. It was just like filled makeup bags with like all this stuff that you see here, and we were dropping them off at Port in the Storm, Betty Griffith, all these different places. And they're like, how do we connect better instead of just like, how do we go beyond this? And then we thought about the lockers, and our first location was at Glitterati Beauty Lounge. I had my spa there for a while, and the owner, Priscilla, is amazing. I still get my nails done with her.
Thanks. I saw this when you came in, and I was like, under fire.
Yeah, she's so great.
Very cool. Tough, dude. That's cool.
She kills it. Hand paints that shit. Like,
wow. Wow. So
but,
detailed.
Yeah. So we started there, and then the next one we had came, and then the next one, and now we have like 12 locations. And then Alex Barr, who works for the library system, was noticing that, and we were chatting one day, and she's like, wait, like, I wonder how we could get this into the library. And we were both like, yeah, that would be amazing. And then she said, well, every year there's a grant that they give out to a project or, you know, something. And so I was doing all these numbers. We were doing like how much it takes to fill a locker. This is what it needs to sustain it, blah, 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 blah.
That's so good.
And we got blessed the opportunity and got the grant.
Ooh.
So now every single locker in St. John's, or every single library in St. John's County has a locker.
Wow.
So anyone could go and stock up on menstrual products. So that's really awesome. And we hope to grow from there. In September, we have a meeting with them to pitch it, to be like, this is how it's going. Don't you want to continue this? And hopefully that stays funded for St. John's County.
Cool.
Am I doing good? Am I saying like just a lot?
No, that's exactly. I wanted a timeline.
I was just like, oh man.
And because like, I mean, it's really interesting how it evolves, and you notice a need and like figured out how to meet it.
Yeah.
I am interested in like, where do you see this going? Like, do you have what is your vision for the future?
I would like to be. Right now, we are just not an official non-for-profit. We put everything we get, we put out. So there's no like keeping or saving really anymore.
Okay.
Because there's such a need. So what I would really like is to become an official non-for-profit and maybe have a period pantry, like an actual place for people to go. So it would be like a very small, place that people can just come in, take what they need and leave, almost like a food pantry. I love that we have them spread out throughout town, but sometimes I feel even in certain businesses, we're missing a targeted audience that needs them, that can't even afford to go into these businesses. So there's just so much beyond that. I just keep brainstorming, you know? So I'm like, we had a 24-hour location. Our friend Annie at Florida Blue, they had a location downtown there, awesome, but they went to home-based working. So we lost our 24-hour location, so we're trying to get that back up again. We are working with our friends at the Vibe Nutrition, and they're gonna hopefully put one out. But my goal is to have a really nice 24-hour safe place for people to stock up on menstrual products. Is 16.9 women in the United States live in poverty, and women who live in poverty can't afford this, which is considered a luxury, which is beyond. So
I remember when we met for the first time, you told me that, and I was blown away. And then I told somebody that the other day, and they were like, that doesn't even, a man. And he was like, well, that doesn't even make sense.
Yes, there's more studies done on male baldness than there is on the human female body. So let that sink in and read one of these books.
Yes, I can.
And really educate yourself. One that I read recently is The Period Power. Nadia Okamoto, I love you, girl. I hope I said that right. She actually is the woman who owns the brand August. Period products. I think it's the brand you made was that real?
It was real.
Okay, just kidding. It was real awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I made a little purse. It was my Valentine's goodie bag to hand out my Valentine's from a tampon box.
I swear that's how the universe knew you were gonna win. How crazy that you wanted to.
I know. I wanted to so bad. I was
like, she picked that. I was like, oh my god. Deserved Cassidy. But yeah, she wrote this book, A Manifesto for the Menstrual Movement. It's pretty amazing. It teaches you a lot.
What kind of takeaways did you get from it?
Cultural misunderstandings, just the stigma around not talking about it, and just being more open. I learned that I don't like the word sanitary products because of this book. The explanation was like, duh, like menstrual products. So it's just like little things that teach you from being like embarrassing or gross to being like, this is the human body, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is how we're supposed to be. Like, there's nothing gross about it.
Yes.
We've been doing this forever. And we used to be sent into a room and just, they're bleeding.
Yeah.
Send them to the blood room. Like, what?
Yeah.
I would be hung. So, yeah. It's like, thank God for this generation, but also, God.
I know, having to show up to work while I'm like, send me out to the woods.
Yeah.
And some cookies.
And then this one was also really good. This, first of all, this first page is a cave painting of women menstruating from menstruating women dancing, ancient rock art painting from the Pilbara region. Oh my gosh, I am a girl gang. Okay. In northwestern Australia. Like, what? So that just goes to show what kind of book this is.
See if you can see it. Oh yeah, nice.
You feel the womanhood in this book, you know? Nice. So this is a period, end of a sentence, new chapter in the fight of menstrual justice. Highly recommend. Cool. These books can be rented from the library. What do you say?
Check it out.
Check it out! Oh my God, these books can be checked at the library a lot.
Actually, I kind of do.
I do. I'm like, why? Words to me, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could actually check out these books at the library. Nice. They, on the side of all of the lockers, they have powerful books on menopause, even if you're not on your period, whether you just started your period, like so many cool things. So
cool.
You don't even have to buy them, girl. You could go check it out, literally. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of that. This is an example of. These are like the mini lockers that we have around town. This is a mini version. We have a version that the one at Georgia, and at Sarbez, it's like huge, and it's got 3 shelves. But this is a mini one. It could fit quite a few things, like a little box of liners, like a whole bunch of tampons, and these are some of the. This is an option of what you'll see when you see them around town. We have them in Nature Wellness, Nature and We Trust.
Right there.
Market, yes, love them.
Yes.
Sarbez, Mugsies, the local refillery, Great Goods, Highbrow, Cassage Therapy, STA Lash Bar, Nails by Stone,
nice.
And then Glitterati Beauty Lounge, a Kava Place in the Hobby Lobby.
Green Turtle.
Yes, Green Turtle. And then the Extrema Farimo House, the museum downtown.
Cool.
I always butchered that name, but
that's okay. I wouldn't even give it a try. So
yeah, I was like,
that was good.
A great museum downtown that is full of women's history. It's 1776 or something like that. It's been around. So cool. It's one of my favorite locations to fill because I get to like park in a little cobblestone. They have 2 cats that are always like sunbathing, and it's just like it's a vibe. But yeah, so these are some of the products that usually people can find in them. We have the heat patch for cramps.
I love that they're hearts.
Yes, makes such a difference.
Good job, my doll.
Yes. Some hand sanitizer, menstrual cups. We usually get 2 different options. These are non-reusable ones. They're disposable ones. Sometimes we get fancier ones and we put them in there for someone to just take. So all of this kind of varies on donation. So we highly, highly rely on donations to survive. So we have a Amazon wish list on our Instagram page. And that has all of our needs and like how much we need of things. Great Goods is awesome because she does that time of the month every first week of every month, and she does 5% of her sales, and that has been a huge help already.
Really?
Yes, like
go Georgia.
Yeah, because really no one really knows until they know. So every once in a while I'll get like a huge box at my door and I come home and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't order anything, and then I'll open it and be like, I saw your locker at Sarbez, you're doing the Lord's work, thank you, like whoever's doing this, and it's like a box of a whole bunch of stuff.
That's so cool. People are good.
People are great. So once we learned like, okay, we could make money to make a difference, that's when I think it really clicked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like how to put that money back
into the community, because it's like, it's not a lot, but it was a little. I was like, for every, you know, if we have 10 girls and each girl paid $20, that's enough to fill a whole bunch of lockers. And before, when we were, you know, just doing it to survive, we were just like paying event insurance and like all of this stuff, and I was like, but why, when we could just do events, like, you know, not markets necessarily, but have events that really just are sustainable with the outcome.
Yes, make it easy for yourself. Yes. That's what I've been trying to remind myself, is like, sometimes like it's just the easy and simple way that like makes it easy for you to just do it. Is the best way to do it.
And then good things happen from it, you know, and now we have these lockers in so many locations, and we're so thankful for everyone who has ever looked at it and been like, F yeah, go girls, and like has donated, and all of that makes such a huge difference. And you know, I hear from people that, you know, at businesses that they can tell it's making an impact in certain people's lives, so that's what always is good to hear. Yeah, so
cool. Can you talk a little bit about the logistics? If somebody wanted to mimic this somewhere else, how would they go into...
The cool thing about this is there is a lot of versions of this in areas. Okay. So actually there's a really sweet gal from my hometown who reached out to me, who I'm gonna start reaching out with, and she wants to start one in Citrus County, Florida, which is West Coast, kind of by like the Villages, Crystal River. Nice. And I'm like, yes. Yeah. So really I'm just gonna set her up with the concept, and then she can grow from there, and she can get her own donations and stuff like that. Once I started growing, I found the Period Pantry in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a version of this, and it's called Period Pantry. Whoa. And they have lockers, cabinets. She's really good at repurposing pieces and having, but hers are out in the wild 24 hours. So that's cool. I think I've seen that. Yeah, so I found them when I started. So I'm finding a community of people that are doing this, and it's different names and different things, but it's amazing. And there's one of these books, they were saying how there's actually a program where you could buy a pad manufacturing machine. It sounds crazy, but you make these pads, and I'm like, wow, so now I want a pad making machine. Like my taxes can't come soon enough. Forget a vacation.
I never thought about how they were made, but yeah, and then you can make like sustainable ones.
So now they donated them to communities, so that way they can have them. And what?
Cool. Where do you purchase one of those?
You know,
Amazon?
You can all learn in these books. Okay. There's actually foundations that do this, so like you can like pay to have it. You know, you gotta pay to donate it, kind of a deal. But yeah, it's a never-ending web. So if someone wanted to do this, my suggestion is to find someone close-ish to you that does it, and be like, girl, I want to do. They, he, she, we. I want to do this. How do I do this? And just let them lead you, and get a vessel.
A vessel? Go to your local thrift shop?
Yeah, go to your local thrift shop.
Paint
the cool thing about these
stickers on it? My nails.
That one's a magnet. Bougie.
Yeah, I have my magnet on my fridge too.
Yeah, so a lot of ours are really decked out. So you'll see a lot of I'm gonna call them Stephanieisms, but fashion, style, swag. Yeah, so they're all like decorated, all different. And
and you can write cute little notes.
Yeah, so those were $5 at Target, and then they went on sale for $3 online. So with donations, we bought a whole bunch of them, and we have 2 left now.
Wow.
Yeah, this one included.
Wow.
Yeah, the last one just went to the Hastings Library because they can't have a full-size locker yet because they're in a transitional phase with locations. They're getting a new build, so they have a mini one in the meantime.
Cute.
Yeah.
What kind of facilities do you find that, like, in businesses that want to, or like how do you access these people?
So the unique thing about all of our locations have just been, I guess I'm gonna say lucky that someone believed in me.
Oh, yeah.
So there's usually, like I said, I have my spots, so like a client or someone who's like, I thought of you and I talked to my boss and I really think that a locker would do well here, and
Yeah.
that's how it goes. That's how I got
Wow.
into Sarbez. That's how I got into Mugsy's, the refillery.
Mhm.
It was all because someone that worked there believed in it and got it in.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
there's a gal named Julia. She works at Maracua.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You're doing better than me, so that's why I have nothing to say to you.
She's rad, and she used to work at Sarbez, and she
Okay.
got us into Sarbez, and I think she's now working on getting us there too.
Cool.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's just people believing in us.
Okay.
I've asked a few businesses personally,
Mhm.
but other than that, they've come to me, and that has been the biggest like feeling, because it is a little nerve-wracking. Like, I felt like I was like selling something at first when I was like, I want these in, but how do I tell you? Because a lot of you are like, how much does it cost? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, what does it require of the location, just to let you know that they're empty, or you're coming by all the time?
I come weekly. It's not always on the same day, because every business has different hours. So that's a little tricky. But there's two of us. My partner Allie does a lot of the refills, and then I do a lot of the refills, and it's just weekly. So usually by the time we get there, unless every once in a while it'll be like desperado, but usually I catch it right before.
The timing.
Yeah.
You navigated
every 5 days.
Okay.
Is usually 5 to 6 days is a refill. If I happen to go on vacation or something and someone can't do it for me, it has waited 7 days, and I could tell the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so how long have you been stocking the period lockers?
Oh, we're almost on a year now
Wow.
of consistent period locker filling.
Cool.
Yeah. And I just got some help, and I just posted a newsletter, and I would love for more help. We're looking for gals who just want to keep a tote bag such as this in their car and just pop up at a locker and refill it weekly. It's a fun way to give back to your community, and we want to meet monthly and just like chat and just kind of have like a girl gang that is just really committed to that. So there's two of us that are fully breathing, eating it, and we are really looking to grow. So we have a meeting on me and Dave's girl.
I'll put all of this in the description too. The link to the Instagram, so that you can buy stuff off the wish list. And then if you're local, you can get involved via the newsletter.
Yes. Email us.
Okay.
girlgangstaughtine@gmail.com or girlgang STF. And our meeting is on April 22nd at 6:30 at Highbrow Spa, which is 88 Riberia Street, room 160.
Oh, so you're right next to the Crystal.
Yeah, all the way at the end of the hallway.
Nice. I'll have to come visit you.
Yeah, I love them. But yeah, so we'll be there, and if you find us on Instagram, feel free, like she said, to message me. I know I'm saying a lot at once, but yeah,
that's awesome. A couple fun facts about maybe period products, or just in general, maybe some things that you started to incorporate because of your involvement with this that you found helpful for yourself personally or for other people.
Yes, I have found more sustainable options are better.
Okay.
So I love that we have the disposable discs and some discs, but I would love more sustainable options. We had period underwear for a while.
Okay.
And reusable pads. But I find that those actually, once you have them, go so go for so long, you know?
Really?
So I feel like if you had a good set of some sustainable options, there would be no like, oh, I just got my period. You'd be like, oh, are my underwear clean?
Yeah.
So it's a different feeling.
What I have never used a reusable pad, but what is that like? You just like rinse it out and then throw it in the wash? Or?
Yeah, so one of my loves for it started because I am allergic to the plastics on pads.
Okay.
So I get super irritated from like every pad.
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't matter what it's made with.
Yeah.
Some now are made better, but and tampons, my body just like does not like that. It like rejects it.
Same.
So I was like, okay, let me try it. And at first I was really grossed out because it's like the pad thing.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
Yeah.
So I would just have like a little like the size of a smell-proof bag. It's like a waterproof bag.
Okay.
And I would have a fresh pair. And I go throughout the day. And usually those pads and underwear can hold up, some of them like up to 12 tampons. So if you have everyone's like, I have a really, I'm like, it's holding some stuff. Yeah. Gateways to hell it's holding, you know?
Those things aren't tough.
They're tough. So as soon as I'm like, okay, she's full, I'll go to the bathroom, and the pads have usually a little button, so you unbutton it and then take it off, put the new one on,
like
and then
the wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just put the new one on. Same with the underwear. And then you just put them in the bag. So you just do a little bit more laundry. Some people do some really amazing stuff with their period blood after they rinse those things.
Really?
If you find them online, if you're into that, that is a whole nother miracle. People water their plants with it. Like, it's really interesting.
No
so
way.
That's a whole culture.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of different worlds you can actually find.
Yeah.
But what else have I learned? I have learned that people love the little things too about the lockers. Like my stickers are always gone. Hand sanitizers, the little things like, I'm gonna pick this up again. Like these are so always nice gone. It's just like really thoughtful. Like, oh, I'm not just like, I need some love.
Yes.
Love.
Yeah,
so
it's not
I
just
do
the basics.
Yeah.
Or
So
the essentials. It's a little fairy dust.
Yes.
It's fairy
Pixie
dust.
dust. Yes,
Pixie dust.
exactly. So I try to put some love in there too. If I have like, I'll get like a bag of chocolates or like something, and I'll just like. Yeah. And one time I did like disco ball keychains, just like little things that someone's like, oh, that just made this go from like F to yeah. So
yes,
I love the prizes along with the needed items. I've learned some states now. I haven't gotten down which states exactly and which states are, but some states are now tax-free on products, and some states are and are not.
Okay.
You can learn all of that online, and I think that's really interesting. The differences in taxes in different states and like why. There's that, and then there's also a really cool website where you can find this on our Instagram. I reshare on our story often, but it is posted on our page. There's a site that you can go to get not a lot of refunds, but you can send in your receipts and stuff to get money back from the period products that you buy. That's really cool and huge. Not all states do it, of course, but some do. So if you live in an area that is available to you, that is freaking cool. Yeah. When I found that, I was like, we could be getting money back for this? Holla!
We can period products and money.
Yeah, I was like spreading that information. I was like, did you know?
Did you know? You can get money back guaranteed.
Yes, I was like, everyone needs to know.
Yeah. Like, you have to have your receipts. That has a.
Yeah, save your receipts, girl. 1992.
Yeah.
Just in case, you never know. They might be like, is this girl really buying all these tampons? Yes. But, you know, at the same time, 100 tampons to space for what, 4 days? Yeah. They don't know us. They've never known.
No, but they will. We're doing the work.
Yeah. Foot soldiers here.
Yes. Advocacy.
Yes. What else? I think those are my big main learns. I've learned girls are just so cool. Like I learned that when girls click and find each other, it's such a powerful thing. Yeah. It really is. And I've learned recently like how to really channel those relationships and just really like, you know, I've met so many cool people by doing this, you know, and I just imagine like, oh my God, I would have never met you had I just been like doing this. And I'm like, look at all this like coming together over one common interest, you know, like us, you know, it's just so cool. So I've liked I loved the relationships throughout the journey too. Cool. Yeah. Very cool. But I think those are my main takeaways.
Nice. I'm trying to think of let me just pause it. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to talk about. Did you have any
and I feel like my timeline was like
yeah, that's fine. People just
they
deal with it.
Listen, but don't
they
listen,
deal with
okay?
it. They deal with it. Yeah.
Don't
like,
listen.
There's interesting stuff in here. I'm learning to get more efficient for sure.
I know. I need to be better at these things. This is really good for me too.
Good.
Because when I went on the TV with our girl Cassidy, I was so nervous for that too, and I stuttered on my words. Yes, when she went on the First Coast, whatever, for the Galentine's event.
Oh, I know nothing about. I've been seeing people go on the radio, and I'm like, how do you? What do you do that for? Why are you doing that? How do you do that?
Hard though. I'm like, I love you guys. You're so strong. You're so brave.
Yeah. No, you are too. You're doing different work.
But I think a timeline, like to like don't because they're like don't practice what to say, but like know what to say.
Yeah.
I'm like putting like Kool-Aid, man. I'm just gonna bust it wide open.
You're just gonna let it flow. Yeah, most of that. Like at first, I was like taking notes. I was like, I gotta like have notes before I do this, like whatever talks. And now I'm like, I'll figure it out. I just started. Yeah. Just the notes. Or one of like the wedding speeches where they're like, when I first met. And bring out the tears.
Totally.
Cool.
Okay, well.
I feel like there's like something else. Or you're good. You think it's good?
I feel like we did.
Do you want to tell a story? Like a story?
Like
do you have any stories?
What stories do I have?
Let's see. My first tampon.
Oh.
Kind of deal.
Yeah, okay, I have a story. This pertains to stigma.
Yeah.
Bless my dad's heart, I'm calling you out.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger and I started my period. Well, that's another fun story. When you first got your period, I was on a friend's trampoline and I thought I pooped myself.
Yes, I thought I was like,
I jumped too hard. Help!
I couldn't feel anything.
Yeah. So, and then my mom like took me to a buffet and was like so sweet, and I was like, that should be more of a thing.
Yes.
Period parties.
Yes. Period parties.
We should start having those actually.
I'm down.
Okay. Write that down.
Okay.
Okay, what else was I saying?
Oh, your first period.
Oh, my first period. Okay.
Tampon, maybe.
Okay, so first period, that was an experience, and then when one of my friends didn't have a pad one day, I started wearing tampons. Yeah. She taught me how to ducky.
Yeah.
And
taught me
how to ducky. And so
okay.
And then I came home and my mom was like asking my mom, was like, I need tampons.
Yeah.
Like specifically. And my dad was like, who taught her about those? Like it was guns.
Yeah.
I was like, my friend?
Yeah. Because neither of you will.
You don't need to be using those. And I was like, what do you think a tampon
It's not intercourse. Yeah.
So read these books.
Yeah.
Share them with your dads and husbands and sons.
Yeah.
It's just like so crazy. I think back to that moment. I'm like, oh, he's grown so much from having daughters.
He has multiple daughters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was the only one.
Yep.
Yeah. How old were you when
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I know, like when your mom took care of it. How old were you when you used your first tampon?
Probably like 14.
Okay, so you were pretty young when you used it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do it till college. Cause it was such a stigma.
Yes.
And, my friend had to teach me.
Yeah.
My roommate gave me one because I was like, I just have to run to class, and I was a track athlete, so I can't really have a whole lot going on in your spandex, and so I was like, okay, if other people can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to run to class, and I was like, come on!
You're in the stall next to her. She's like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's a
and now just push the thing in. You know?
She's like, you can do it.
Showing me the instructions, and I'm like, this looks like Six Flags. I know.
It's a whole thing, but
we did it.
We figured it out. And then I used the cup, which I found like at first I was like, I don't think I can do it because
I hear that a lot.
My roommate was talking to me about it, and I was like, it's kind of gross. Like I really don't want to do it. But then I was like, you know what? Tampons were such a huge step in convenience for me, and like. So
let's
like,
step again.
I have to send it with the cup, and oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Yeah, game changer.
It's so nice.
That's why I think it's so cool now that they even have like the disposable cups as like.
Can I feel it?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel it. Okay, so it's like a kind of like is this a diaphragm? A condom?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
I see. The most common thing that is funny when I come back to refill lockers is I can tell it had to be a man. Was curious what this was, and there'll be one just like open. I'm like, not the menstrual disc. It's not a condom. That is a big. I mean, God.
That is.
I mean, yeah. That's a whole nother podcast.
We'll be back. Talk about menstrual. What you said? Menstrual disc.
Menstrual disc. Yeah. Yeah, so
cool.
that was my probably my most traumatic story. What other? Oh, I remember when I was younger, when I was wearing the pads, I thought if I flipped it around, like, you know, when you're bleeding and it's got a little like clearness on the back, I thought if I flipped it around,
it just double.
But until you sit, girl.
Squish.
Yeah. Lessons learned.
Yes. Exactly. You don't know exactly. You don't know until you try. So
as soon as they sat down, I was like, oh, this was a bad idea.
I'm gonna go shower now.
Yeah. I gotta go home. 6th grade. That's when you had the jacket around the waist and you just couldn't wait to get back home.
Yeah, there was one time I don't know that I had started my period yet, but it was like 6th grade or something, and I got red ink on my shorts and it was like in the spot that you would have blood, and I didn't realize like that, and so I was like walking around with it because I was like, it's just ink, and then my friends were like, no, like it doesn't look like ink. I'm like, okay. I'm like so embarrassed. It's like,
now you mention it.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. So it's such a hard thing to go through, and it's so like silly that we make it an individual problem.
Yeah.
You know, because like even at that age in middle school, like all of your girlfriends are trying to figure it out.
It's but we were all scared to talk to each other. And if I could tell baby Steph one thing, I'd be like, ask for help more with that.
Yeah.
Figure things out more for yourself.
Right.
Than just flipping the pad around.
Yeah.
You should have asked for another pad, but I was scared to ask for one. Is really why I probably did that. It's because I didn't want to go to the nurse. None of my other friends probably had it, and I just flipped her.
Yeah, because you like there's no shame in asking, but like you feel a lot of
now
shame.
I'm like, you got a tampon, you got to.
Yeah.
There's no.
Here's 6 of them.
Yeah.
For later.
Now I'm like, what do you need?
Yes, I actually have 16 different brands of tampons. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Talk to your girlfriends.
Yeah.
Talk to your boyfriends about it too. Do you have like resources for younger girls that are like going through puberty and going into their periods and learning about how to put in a tampon or what kind of like things are best for them and how to manage their periods, because there's so much in our life and environment that affect that specific
time. I would go more from online research and go to free resources like the library. Now each one in St. Johns County has a little card on the side with books starting from, oh my gosh, I just got my period, what do I do? What different colors mean. I mean, a lot of females like don't even know like, oh, my period shouldn't even hurt this bad kind of a deal. So like I feel like just talking and like reading and like educating yourself that way and asking your mom or asking your aunt, your grandma, or your friend, and just being like, mine feels like this, what does your feel like? Just talk about it. Just getting the conversation out there is really good at any age. A lot of women that don't bleed anymore would be flattered to tell you about everything you need to know and then some. Just because they don't, the number one donators at my work through my clients is clients who don't menstruate anymore, and they're like, well, they were on sale and I don't need them anymore, but I figured someone else
part of their budget kind of deal.
And I'm like, oh.
But
anyways,
like more women are out there like ready to help and give guidance. And I really like think so.
So if it's your teacher, anyone you feel comfortable talking to, I feel like it's not no question's a dumb question. First of all,
is a dumb question.
So I would go to like free resources like the library more so than the internet. Elder menstruators. And the
old pros.
The vets in the game.
For 15 years.
But that's a really great way. There's some apps and things that you could do to like track your period now. I know a lot of people are scared of them and too. So I think it goes both ways. But I think education. Getting education from a good source. A positive source, and knowing like, oh, I don't have these things, I don't want to miss school, like I can knowing like, oh, they're at the library, so how do I get to the library, so that just finding ways that if you can't afford X, Y, and Z, how do I get it, and stuff like that.
Finding people to support. Awesome. Any last thought, stories, or words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom, always pass the tampon, and love thy sister.
Well, thanks for joining us. Do your research. Go research either how to get money back on your tampons and pad product or period products. Support Stephanie and the Grow Gang and buy them stuff, all kinds of stuff. And if you know a place that needs a period locker or should have one, let us know, and we'll stick them around town. And if you want to be a part of the gang, holler on Instagram, Grow Gang with 2 G's, STA. Yes. Grow Gang.
Grow Gang
stuff.
Peace.